G'day guys, welcome back to the Supercoach YouTube channel. Today we are going to be reviewing the last round of preseason games, which happened on the weekend. Obviously next week we have opening round. But yeah, I thought I'd do a quick video just reviewing these practice matches. So let's get into it. So we're starting with the Carlton versus Geelong game. The big story out of this game for me was Tanner Bruhn, whose role looked elite off half back and then in the midfield in the second half. He was absolutely picking it early, but he sort of faded out of the game a little bit. I think he was on 50. I can tell you what he was on. Yeah, 54 fantasy, 46 Supercoach at quarter time. The role looked really good and he was quite good in it. And worth noting two other things as well. His kicking looked a lot better than I had realised it was, and his fitness looked much better. So now he did fade out of the game a bit, so maybe the fitness is a little bit of a lie. But yeah, I'm really keen to have another look at Tanner Bruhn in opening round. But the role was a huge tick if you are that way inclined. The real big story was Jagger, who was unbelievable. I don't think it's even worth discussing Jagger. He is locked in and must be on your field. It is that simple. If he's not on your field, you are not trying to win. Very simple. Wade Dirksen was very good. I thought he was significantly better than Lewis Young, who I believe he's battling for a spot in the side. So I think he holds in the Carlton team when Haynes and Wiedering are back. But yeah, Dirksen was really good. He's currently in my side. I actually had him before these games started. I was pretty keen on him. So really liked what I saw from Dirksen. Good user, got involved defensively. Things that you always like to see. Jumping over to Geelong, Mitch Edwards played in the ruck, had 7 hitouts to advantage, 20 hitouts. I don't know. I thought he was reasonable in the ruck. But I'm not convinced he plays. He looks really raw still. He's had a lot of injuries. If he does play, I will probably be interested. But at this stage, I am not, because I don't think he will play. But definitely one to watch. The other ruck who people have in this game, Liam Reedy, he was better than he has been. But this is probably the softest ruck matchup you can get. And I thought he was reasonably poor still. So I'm not sure where to go with this. I actually have Reedy for now because I'm the most confident that he will play at R3. It's a pick that I hate. He's just, I don't know, maybe he can slow burn and make 100k and he can be downgraded to a loop at some point. I don't know. But yes, Liam Reedy was no good. And then just on the Primos, I don't really want to talk Primos too much, but Walsh I thought looked quite good. He had a lot of CBAs. The only person missing from the CBAs is Chero, who's going to miss the first few weeks. I thought he was quite impressive in his role. Obviously, Geelong, who aren't tagging, are probably one of the easiest midfield matchups to score against. And he is also an outside player dominating in the preseason. I thought Walsh was quite good. Could not fault you for going there. Do like the pick. Just a couple of other ones. Elijah Hollins. This is classic preseason outside players just dominating. Now, I want to draw your attention to the fantasy number here for Carlton, which was 1,901. That is entirely unsustainable for a team. The average is between 16 and 1,700. So Carlton's scores are very inflated. And I think that the wings and half forwards, they're the ones that really feel that drop off. So Hollins, well, both Hollins really. But I know Elijah Hollins is cheap, but I think it is not for me. Cooper Lord is another one that's sort of in the same boat, but with Chero out, could get enough CBAs to score well. He did score well in the role last year, so I think if you're looking for a Carlton mid-pricer, the one that I like the best is Cooper Lord. Keen to have another look at Cooper Lord in round 0. Not for me at this stage. I'm trying to have a look. So Byrne is a rookie who came on in the second half and was fine. Just a classic small forward. There's a heap of those classic small forward types options this year. And I don't think there was any other rookies on the Geelong side. So let's get into the next game, which was Sydney versus GWS. I will be honest, I only watched one quarter of this because the rest of the game was an absolute monsoon. and there was very little to take out of the monsoon, let's be honest. So just quickly, Errol Goulden, ankle tweak, absolutely 100% fine, purely precautionary, nothing to worry about. He will be all good. Jai Sarong played on the wing. I was concerned about him getting a spot in the back line, so they moved him to the wing. I'm not convinced that he plays with Lloyd back, but maybe he plays over like the Clearys. He could play over Wicks as well. I haven't been impressed with Wicks, but like the Clearys, the Wickses, I don't know. I presume he plays over one of those guys, potentially Bice. I don't know. He was very impressive. Went at 83% in terrible conditions, so big tick for him. I thought he was genuinely impressive in this game, so that was good. I guess I'll mention Angus Sheldrick. I don't know if this is an option for Supercoach. Obviously, the conditions were perfect for Sheldrick being a monsoonal slop fest, but his kicking is really, really bad, which is very problematic for Supercoach. I think for fantasy, you could probably consider this though, but this is a Supercoach channel, so we won't discuss that too much. Let's go over to the Giants. Toby Green through the middle. This was, again, a slop fest, so it was a good game for him. However, his role did look very good. I don't know if that persists with Finn Callahan back. We've just had it confirmed that Brent Daniels is going to miss the first 4 weeks of the season, so that's probably good for Toby. He's too expensive for mine, but I cannot really fault the pick, to be honest. The other one who was getting extra midfield opportunity was Harry Ralston, who also kicked the ball terribly like Sheldrick, although not as badly. But yeah, his role looked quite good as well. Another one to watch, priced at 270k. Probably would have liked to have seen a little bit more, given that this was a monsoonal slop and he's an in and under player. But one to monitor in round 0, I think. Clayton Oliver has no power at all. He looks... I actually think he looks worse than he did in the back end of last year. So he's a fade for mine. And then Cogs... I'm not sure who gets the Giants mid-clock. I presume Green will. I think he's the best at it. But yeah, I'm not sure about Cogs. I'm not sure about Ralston. These guys aren't for me, I'll be honest. And then I guess Leak is rookie priced. Again, I don't know if he plays when Finn Callahan comes back for round 1 or round 0. So yeah, not going to talk about premiums in this game, although Grundy did look very good in limited TOG. Moving on to the next game, Brisbane versus the Suns. So one to monitor as well. If you're thinking of loading up on mid-prices in the forward line, mid-prices that you think can be primos, I would suggest not doing that. I think Tuke Miller will get forward status, and I think he is guaranteed to be top 6 with forward status. So just one to watch there. I thought Lombard was quite good. He's covering the ground really well. Obviously kicked 3 snags, which he won't do every week. But he has a good fixture at the start, could spike some scores. Think he probably is fieldable at the start of the season if you would like to do that. So yeah, lock him in on your forward bench at the very least. I thought Euland was quite poor. The main concern with... I don't really care about what Euland's performance was in this game. The problem is he's playing like wing half forward, which is not a good role. I also don't think it's particularly good for the Suns. I know the wing role has scored okay in previous times, but like we're going to have a lot of Weller, Lombard. Like there's going to be a few that roll through Closey. They're all going to roll through that wing role, so I don't really love that. I think he'll spend most time at half forward, and I'm not paying 200k for that. So he's a no from me. Lincoln McCarthy was back to half forward, so if you had him, I wouldn't suggest keeping him. It's not a good role at that price. Kadeem Coleman, I did not like. I know the coach said that he would be settled at half back. I just can't see it. I know it's straight from the horse's mouth, but he could have also been, Fags could have been speaking about this game in particular. He also did not accumulate the ball much, and I don't see why he would over Wilmot, Zorko, and Fletcher, considering they're all better defenders. So Coleman's a no from me, but I can understand why others are interested. Jamara Ugle-Hagan, again, didn't really look at the pace. I know he kicked 2 snags, but I believe they were late. Yeah, not for me. Too expensive, I think. Would rather take a punt on one of the rookies. Petrarca looked fit, and his midfield clock was quite good. Butchered the ball as per usual, but that's what you get with Petrarca. I have him in my forward line at the moment, and I think I will go that way. He's the only other forward I'm really confident in. that's sort of premium price and not named Sam Flanders or Harry Sheasel. So, I guess I could talk about Connor McKenna, who's cheap. He's playing forward, so probably a no from me. And I don't think anyone else played in this game who's worth discussing. Oh, Zach Bailey had a lot of CBAs, but who was missing from this game? I should be able to work that out. It looks like no... So Neil played, Dunkley played, Levi and Will played. And McCluggage only played half the game. So, yeah, that's obviously where a lot of his CBAs came from. I also presume that these guys like Neil, the Ashcrofts and Dunkley will get more CBAs as the year goes on. Could be wrong, but I don't like Zach Bailey just because the role is uncertain. All right, Melbourne v Richmond. There was 2 and a bit quarters of this played, thanks to the Lightning. I think the main talking points for me here were Caleb Windsor, whose role was really good, and he was going absolutely bananas in this game. There is a little bit of forward time, but he's like 60 to 70% CBAs. I really like this role. Still going there. It was a bonus to see him accumulate strongly, even if it was against a weak side. And the other one was Xavier Lindsay, who was taking the majority of kickouts, like over 50%, was using the ball well off half back and getting involved in the chains. Another big tick that I wanted to see. It also looked to me that he was preferred. I know CJ and where's Salem, like they still had a reasonable amount of the ball, but CJ used it quite poorly and Salem's not very dangerous. Whereas I thought Sydney was biting off aggressive kicks. Lindsay was biting off aggressive kicks and was hitting them. So really like to see that. He's in my side for now. He's very much 50 or 33, I guess you could say, with Broon and Rouston. But I get a look at those guys next week, so that'll be good. I'm not going to talk rucks. I don't think there's much to talk about with rucks, if I'm being totally honest. Luca Kentfield went off with a knee injury early, which is a shame because I think he would have been a good rookie for us. What that means is I think Max Heath will actually play early for the first 4 or so weeks. I think his role isn't going to be good enough at that price. But if you really wanted to go that way, you could. Just having a look at some other stuff on this side. Jack Steele was like full CBAs. This is not for me, but he's like doing everything that Jack Steele used to do. So if you wanted to go this way, you very much could. I think you would have liked what you had seen if you were interested in Steele, but I'm concerned about the injuries, so it's not for me. Cozzy Pickett playing too much forward time for mine. But yeah, obviously he looked good in this game. Langford, 100% on the wing, not for me. Bailey Laurie is rookie priced, but he has played AFL before and looked far too slow and has generally not lasted very long. So this is not a pick that I am particularly fond of. Just trying to have a look to see if there are any. I guess Trent Rivers, I should mention. This Tog is skewed because of the first 30-minute lightning break when he was on the bench. But yeah, he was really good. I just don't think there's any certainty with the role. And I think halfbacks are probably going to put up big numbers this year. Like the Saints boys, the Giants boys, and Rosie, like they could all comfortably put up 110, I think. So I don't think Windsor's going to be anywhere. Trent Rivers is going to be anywhere in that realm. So not a pick for mine. And Latrell Pickett is like pure forward. There are much better pure small forward options than Latrell Pickett in my mind. So he's not a pick. And then Tholstrup was back to half forward in this game. So if you're looking for him, the halfback role is no longer there. On the TIG side, Jaden Short did his classic preseason thing. No one's going there again. Banks played a little bit of wing time, as did Grill. Now, I thought Grill was pretty good. So he's in my side at the moment. I think playing on the MCG will also help him. But yeah, I was pretty impressed with Grill. Thought he was better than a lot of the other... he was probably the best of the rookies from this class. Excluding Josh Lindsay, I think. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. Cumming had a shoulder injury. He's going to miss the first month of the season at the very least. And Gibcus was like pure lockdown. This role is not as good as when we had him a couple of years ago, and he got to about 300k, I think. So, I am passing on Josh Gibcus for now, but he is there as a correction option if required. All right, Bulldogs versus Hawthorn. So, this game was... I found this a little bit more interesting than a lot of the other ones. The Dogs looked really good. I know a lot of people are going to talk about Tim English. He's kicked 2 snags and he's always pretty good against Meek. I'm not really interested in discussing the premiums here. I will say that across all the games, I didn't think the rucks were generally as affected as I had originally thought. So I'm not sweating on rucks anymore. But Karmas, he took a heap of contested intercept marks. He was obviously really good, but I don't think the Hawks were playing. They were cruising a little bit, whereas the Dogs were playing for BNF votes. So I don't think Buka Karmas is a pick for mine. His role just isn't great either. He's playing like key defense, so not for me. Bont was good. Sanders was good, but I think he got concussed. And then, the classics were good. Croft kicked a couple of goals. Wasn't very nice. Butterick did get a fair bit of the ball, but it is worth noting that there's no Dale. And I think the other guys who are across halfback in Selwood and Jakes struggled to get the ball as well. So I don't know if this scoring persists, but we get another look next week. At this stage, not for me. I still presume he's going to play mostly lockdown. Hines was good. His rookie price, about 160k. I just think there are better of these types of options. I prefer Artie Jones, who is pushing up to the wing a little bit. He's obviously played before and scored terribly. I think he's had full games with no touches. But another preseason in, Bevo clearly rates him. He should spike some scores just playing in that small forward role. So I do actually have him for now, but I'm not very married to the pick. Now, I thought Selwood was good, but I'm not sure he plays with Dale in the side. And then I thought Jakes struggled with the ball early. Didn't use it too well, but he worked into the game all right, and I thought he was okay. Emmett, I don't think he's going to play round 1. And then on the Hawthorn side, Newcomb is facing a suspension for round 0. But if you wanted to pick him, he will be available for round 1. Let's just scroll down here. Connor McDonald did not have... the role's fine, but I don't think it's going to be enough to be a keeper forward, and I think you're really after that at his price. So he's a no from me. Mraz is rookie price, but I don't think he will play when Barras is back. Butler was fine, but obviously kicked 2 goals. He's 190k, but playing small forward. I'd rather just go for a Doveston or a Jones over this, I think. And I think that's it for the Hawks. Not overly relevant this season, the Hawthorn Hawks. Okay, St Kilda v Essendon. This game was very weird, and be very careful what you read out of this game. So the fantasy scores and the Supercoach scores were quite skewed towards St Kilda. I think Essendon made this game quite weird for a few reasons. So firstly, they didn't really apply any pressure in the forward half. I don't know if that's something that... I feel like Essendon have done that previously, but that makes no sense. And what that allowed was Wintager, Sinclair, Nazaya, Flanders. They were all just picking it at halfback. So the scores are a little bit inflated, I think, in general. The other thing that Essendon did that was weird was they played Merritt pretty much everywhere. They played him deep forward. They played him back pocket. I think they even played him a little bit of wing. So I don't know. It's very hard to read into a lot of the Essendon stuff based on that as well. But just going down the list, no one went near Nazaya for this entire game. So Nazaya kicked 4 and had 28. Not unexpected. I think if you weren't going to pick Nazaya, your decision doesn't change. And if you were going to pick him, obviously you're pretty happy to see that. So nothing changes on Nazaya. Wintager's role was interesting. Took a few kick-ins, which I was a little bit surprised by. I thought Sinclair would have virtually a monopoly on that. I have a feeling he's still going to do defensive jobs. I think Dacos will get some Windhager attention in round 0, but that'll be an interesting watch. I don't think this is a premium though, Marcus Windhager. Jack Sinclair, he had some shocking use early, which hurt his Supercoach. He's had 39 with only 3 contested, which is unusual for him. But a bloke who's getting 149 AF and taking a lot of the kick-ins, I really like. And I think that role is too good to pass up as a selection, in my opinion. So, that's him. So, TDK had a 70-30 ruck split. As you can see, 6 frees, 4. He got an absolute bath in the first quarter from Blackiston, who I'll talk about shortly, but was much better in the last 3 quarters. Flanders, I don't know, not worth talking about Flanders. I think Philippou and Flanders aren't worth discussing. They're just locks for mine. Marshall, I think, will get forward status and be a good option for us. So, again, with the mid-price forwards, I think err on the side of caution with them. Carroll, again, I thought was quite poor. This says 94% disposal efficiency, but I think I didn't like the decision making. I didn't really like the kicks he was taking. So I don't know if he plays over Clark. I don't have him for now. I may have to end up correcting there. I don't know, but I'm not very confident with that pick. And yes, let's move on to the Bombers. So Roberts played like full-time midfield. I don't think that holds up when Merritt, or during the season with Merritt playing more mid-time. I don't know. Maybe Brad Scott's very hard to read. A lot of his decisions don't make a lot of sense. So I'm not reading too much into this Roberts mid-time. Maybe more of a Roberts is not a good user by foot. So I don't know. I don't think this is a Supercoach pick. Maybe for fantasy, you could be interested. Caldwell got through the game, low tog. I think if you wanted to go there, you were pretty happy with what you saw. Spoken about Merritt. Blackiston started like a house on fire. He was really, really good in the first quarter, absolutely dominating TDK, and then did virtually nothing after quarter time. As you can see from this, scored, 30 Supercoach. It is still 45 fantasy though, so, okay, interesting. I actually didn't realize it was that. He's 300k in Supercoach, which means he needs to go 90-ish. It's a little bit lower. It's about 85. Not for me at this stage, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be persuaded by other people who are much smarter than me from between now and round 0. Parrish got through the game. He was fine. I don't know. I don't think he's going to have 76 tog and 48 disposal efficiency in most games. He's not a good user generally. But generally, it's going to be more like contested handballs, which is going to be better than ineffective kicks. So, yeah, I don't know. The role was there. No surprise. Sharp role was quite bad. It was almost entirely half forward, which has me a little bit nervous. The messaging from Essendon at the start of, or throughout the preseason, has suggested that he won't start the season. But I thought like he was pretty good in the role, in the half forward role, even though it's not a good role. So, yeah, I guess he's on my mid-bench for now. I don't know if he'll stay there. Farrow was concerning to me. Essendon didn't do a lot of like chip marking this game, but Farrow looked completely lost when Essendon had the ball. Like, did not get anywhere near it. Has no marks, which for a halfback is concerning, particularly an Essendon halfback where they have regularly had heaps. Like they generally give you a good score anyway, regardless of how good they are at football. And also the low tog is mildly concerning too. I genuinely thought that Nguyen was way better and he's probably going to defend better. Been in a couple more years in the system. That being said, when he was involved, he was actually pretty good, I thought, Farrow. Composed, good decision maker. So he may still play and he may still be a good pick. But I don't have him at this stage. He's too expensive when I'm concerned about his ability to find the football. El Achkar, not for me. There are better small forward options, but he is there. Kondo Giannis, I believe that's how that's pronounced. I actually thought he was pretty good. Didn't get involved in much. Was playing sort of like lockdowny type defense. But I thought he looked good. He may play whilst Ridley is out, but I don't think the scoring is there. Essendon may play a more direct style that means that these halfback defender types aren't going to rack up the pill like they have previously. So that's my thoughts on this game. Let's move on to Crom v Dockers. Hayden Young, I have toyed with not having, but the scoring power is just too good. Even in a Freo side where they don't get a heap of fantasy points. As you can see here, 13.38, extremely low. This game was low fantasy in general, though. I do think the part of that was there was just an absolute gale blowing to one side of the screen. So I think it was to the left side. So when teams were getting the ball, like literally from the kick in, they would just torp it down the ground and it would bounce forward of centre. Like that's how much the wind was. So this game was quite weird. Reed is interesting. I don't think I'll go there for Supercoach, but I'm very tempted for fantasy. And then like Clark, Sarong, Brayshaw, all like 63 or 64 fantasy. I had Clark before this game. You shouldn't make decisions on premiums based on this, on these games, but I don't know. I just don't see the Freo system allowing premiums to score well enough. So I've dropped Clark for now. But yeah, other than that, like, what else is there to discuss for Freo? I guess there's Tobin Murray, but again, there are better small forward options in my opinion. I don't think Tobin will play at the start of the season. And then on the Crows side, Dawson did what you wanted to see, if you want to go that way. I think he will have a good year. Laird is like... I've seen Laird mentioned a little bit on Twitter. I don't really love this pick. But again, this match does nothing to dissuade you from that. So, yeah, the big talking point from this match was McAndrew, who scored a 91. I think you want to have this guy on field, either at flex or R2. So... yeah, he is getting involved around the ground. He doesn't look like a complete donkey when the ball hits the ground. I think he's like a clear upgrade over Rob, which I was concerned about, but now I'm not. I will say the TOG is low, and it looks like they're going to play Tobin Murray, who's a forward. I think he's forward ruck. He's forward eligible, 113k. I'm not sure this guy will score enough during the season. So yeah, not for me. But yeah, McAndrew was quite good. Rochelle had really high mid-time. But there's no Berry, no Peatling, no Rankin, so take that with a grain of salt. Anyone else here? Charlie Edwards is rookie price, but again, no Berry, no Peatling, no Rankin, but I thought he was pretty good. Braden Cook had no disposals to halftime and then got some like random midfield time at the end of the game and was... Oh, wait, no, that's Chase Jones. Sorry, Braden Cook was playing like wing half forward, so not the half back role that I wanted to see. I've seen him play this role before and I don't like it, so he's a no from me. And then the other one, Chase Jones, who had no disposals in the first half and then in the second half went on the ball and wasn't great either. I have taken him out of my side for now, but I think he will still be an okay rookie. Like, he just has to go 50 on the bench, and I think he can do that. The wing role is very structural, and sometimes you can have these situations where the winger on the wrong side of the ground just doesn't see the football for long periods of time. I think Jones was a little bit of that. There was also times where Jones was in the right spots, but just didn't get rewarded. So, yeah, that's the Chrome versus Freo. North versus Collingwood, or should I say North versus 18 Plumbers that Craig McRae found on the Yellow Pages. This game is virtually irrelevant in my opinion, but I'll go through it anyway. Not going to discuss the premiums, but they were good. Doveston is another one of these like rookie... small forward types that you could pick. I think it's pick your poison with 1 to 3 of these guys, depending on your structure. My preferred at the moment is Artie Jones. That may change come the start of the season. I am not sure. But yeah, I thought Doveston was quite good. Got involved up a lot more in this game than in the last game. North in general were much better than last week. The big story for me was Blamires, who I thought was really, really good off halfback. Significantly better than Caleb Daniel, like night and day. And I think he should hold with McKercher and Hardiman back for round 1. So he was awesome, 99k SSP rookie. I think you can... probably wouldn't field him, but I have him on my bench for now. Cherry didn't play most of this game. He was whatever. He wasn't really trying. I will say that Cherry, I think, is going to really struggle at centre bounce. But I think he will still score very well around the ground. So... that's that. Trembart didn't play the first half, but you would think he has to play. The other one that I really want to talk about here is Callum Coleman-Jones, who, as you can see, 31 TOG, 69 TOG. These two were literally switching on the bench for each other. Now, I'm not surprised that Clarkson has found the worst way to use the extra bench slot, but here we are. I don't know if this is pickable based on the TOG, but he was pretty good. Like, I don't know, like this R3 position is doing my head in. I think there is going to be a cash maker there. It's just about picking the right one. And I think it actually will be Coleman-Jones, but I don't know. Everything I've read about North is that they do actually want to play that second style ruck. So I think Coleman-Jones will get the first crack. Unless they decide to play Trembath and Darling, who I think they each only played a half. Where's Darling? Here he is. Both of these guys were quite good, so I don't know which way they go for this. They're probably not really preferred ruckman, either of them, but we will see. And then Collingwood, I don't think they're... there's There's one rookie I want to talk about, Harvey Harrison, who, again, he's just another one of these small forward rookies that you're going to have to pick between. He was not for me. I think Cochrane will play round 1 with their outs in defence, but I don't think his job security is good enough to justify picking. So, that's Collingwood and North. Last one we have is West Coast versus Port. West Coast were virtually uncompetitive. But yeah, there was still some interesting things to see. So Tom McCarthy was really good as a full-time midfielder. I think you could go here. He's 500k with no buy. No buy, obviously a huge plus. The problem is at 500k, let's say Tom McCarthy does 110. He doesn't hurt non-owners. So I don't think the advantage you get from picking McCarthy, even if he goes really well, which would be 110, I don't think it's worth it. Anyway, I think the risk versus reward isn't there, even though I think this pick is relatively low risk. I just think the reward is very low risk as well. So that's my thoughts on McCarthy. Dev Rob played I think he played the most CBAs. I don't know why that was. I know Yo played a lot of forward time. There's no Duggan, but I don't know if Duggan even plays midfield. I don't know what West Coast is doing in their centre bounces, but Robertson was quite good, and he can obviously play half forward or wing as well. So I think you can lock him away on field in your forward line. Reed was fine, had a knee-on-knee contact type thing, but I think he's going to have too many clangers or low disposal games for mine, so I'm not really interested in going there at 380k. But I think if you were going to pick this, you probably saw what you wanted to see anyway. Finn McRae was good, but again, I'm not sure he plays round 1. But if he does, I may go here over Artie Jones. So, one to watch. I have no understanding of his job security, so I might troll the West Coast Big Footy board for the next week and see what I can make out of that. Josh Lindsay is West Coast's best kick, comfortably. I know this ratio doesn't suggest that, but he... Actually, I don't know. Oh, well, yeah, he had low disposal efficiency. He had a couple of kicks smothered. There was also a lot of kicks that he had where the guy dropped the mark or something. He had some elite kicks as well though. When West Coast were going forward in the first half, this guy was the only one who could hit a kick. So yeah, really liked what I saw from him. Saw the accumulation as well, which was good, and saw him take kick-ins. So really like this. I have him on field, I think, at the moment. So yeah, really like Josh Lindsay. Schomburg is suspended for round 1, so you can cross him off your list. Newton I thought was really good, but he just can't score. So I think there are better options in your forward line. And then on the Port side, Butters went as expected. Rosie played entire midfield, but Horne-Francis was full forward this game. Bergman didn't play, and I think they're going to eat into, and obviously no Wines as well. I think they eat into Rosie's mid-clock, which I want. I want him playing half back when those guys are back. So yes, that is... I think Rosie's all good. Vicentini, 86. I don't know. This is the easiest ruck matchup in football, the West Coast one. I'm not impressed with Vicentini on the eye, so he's a no from me. Todd Marshall was quite good. Defence was all right, playing on a small this week, which I think I like a little bit better for Port. His ball use was really good. So yeah, and he took a couple of intercept marks. So big ticks for Todd Marshall. Think he'll play. Watkins, I don't know where this guy spawned from, but I don't think he's going to play when Bergman comes back. So I'm not considering this guy much at all. I think Berry's going to be a good player, but I don't think he's Supercoach relevant. And then Ram is 119 defender, but hardcore lockdown fullback. So he is a no from me. So yeah, that's the practice matches reviewed. Thank you guys for watching. My next video will be out tomorrow. It will be a team update post the preseason matches. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for that. Bye guys.